psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. And here he is, Michael Savage.
It is The Savage Nation. Welcome new and old listeners. Bigger, stronger, better. Here I am, back again. If you're listening from anywhere in America, we have an enormous new phone number for you. You know what it is? 1-800? No, it's not 1-800. You're wrong. It's 1-855-400-SAVAGE. 1-855-400-SAVAGE. 1-855-400-7282 from anywhere in the United States of America. I'm not really going to talk about the debate because, frankly, it doesn't matter who you think won the debate. No, it doesn't really matter. That's just a fool's game. It doesn't matter who you think won the debates. It matters who counts the votes. Why do I say that? Well, Joseph Stalin, the socialist butcher of the ex-Soviet Union, stated those who cast the votes decide nothing. Those who count the votes decide everything. So who is counting your votes? Do you know who's counting your votes? You're sitting there thinking, oh, well, it's, like the past and everything's fine and it's on the up and up. You're wrong. You don't know that an international firm headquartered in Spain, SCYTL, look it up, has been contracted by 7 states to provide online ballot delivery for overseas military and civilian voters for the upcoming presidential election. You may say, well, big deal. It's military and it's overseas, expat civilians. They'll swing the election. And according to the director of communications for SCYTL, the Spanish firm doing your vote counting, the company has been contracted by the following states: New York, Arkansas, Alabama, West Virginia, Alaska, Puerto Rico, and Mississippi. The ballots will be delivered via online PDF files by SCYTL, not by the company's U.S. subsidiary, SOE Software. What you don't know is that in January, how the Republicans let this happen. In January, SCYTL purchased SOE Software. They bought them, went overseas. What you also don't know, which you're going to learn today during the Savage Nation, is that their vote counting programs have been hacked by college students. So how secure is your vote, and does it really count? Well, I don't know. Ask your elected officials. See what answer you get from them. Most of them don't even know who's counting the votes. And remember what I said at the beginning of the show. Those who cast the votes decide nothing. Those who count the votes decide everything. Joseph Stalin, the mad socialist butcher of the ex-Soviet Union, he killed 30 million of his own people through mass starvation and work camps. So you say, well, okay, you're just bashing socialists. Well, yes, I am just bashing socialists because we have an emerging socialist government here in the United States of America. And that's one of the reasons I get up in the morning, is to try to stop it, to derail it. Last night was a debacle. Romney had the election. He won it during the first debate. Candy Crawley stole it from him in the second debate. Yes, you heard me right. Candy Crawley stole it from him in the second debate. And last night, we saw another creepy crawly insect of the media world do it again, Bob Schiester. Bob Schiester asked loaded questions, and frankly, if Romney were a little more, how shall I say, tough, if he had the killer instinct, if he was hungrier, he could have taken Obama and wrapped him over his knee and spanked him. Because frankly, Obama looked like an angry adolescent. There were points during the debate last night that Obama looked very much like Biden, with the gaping look, with the fake angry look, with the staring you down look. And Romney looked like a theologian at an academic conference discussing things with a foreign professor. He didn't want to offend the foreign professor for fear he would be called a bad guy. I'll give you an example. Last night, Bob Schiester said, would you have taken out Mubarak to Romney? Romney fell right into the trap and said, no, I wouldn't. Wrong answer, Mitt. The right answer comes from Michael Savage. Here's the right answer, Mr. Romney. Bob, knowing what has happened since Mubarak has removed, I certainly wouldn't have removed him. But frankly, this is a stunning failure of Mr. Obama and his foreign policy team. This should have been predicted by Obama's team in advance of the Arab winter. Why? Well, Bob, the Muslim Brotherhood, is well known to want to introduce Sharia law. The Muslim Brotherhood hates America, hates freedom, hates women. It's only Mr. Obama's inexperience in world affairs that has led to the debacle not only in Egypt, Bob, but throughout the Arab Crescent. That would have brought the House down. That would have put Obama on the ropes. The entire debate would have gone the other way. Instead, all we heard was, I agree with the president, which, by the way, was shocking. Even the moderator kept saying, Mr. Obama, and there's Romney sitting in deference saying, Mr. President, like Marilyn Monroe. Suddenly it's Marilyn Monroe in a suit, Mr. President. I'm surprised he didn't get up and sing in falsetto, Mr. President. But he didn't do that. And this is not a laughing matter. You see, many of you listening to the Savage Nation for the first time don't know what you're listening to, because you probably never heard anyone like me, but you will. You'll get used to me. Many of you are listening from stations around the country that have heard me before, and if you want to call us, the phone number is 1-855-400-SAVAGE, 1-855-400-7282, from anywhere in the United States of America. I'm going to welcome some of my old listeners, some of my new listeners. Here's what I want to tell you. You cannot be both a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. You see, many people confuse themselves. They say, well, I'm a social moderate, but I'm a fiscal conservative. What you don't understand is you can't be both. Why? Because social programs cost vast sums and bleed your fiscal conservatism of all practical meaning. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? If you're calling me from any of the great stations I'm on, and by the way, we broke 100 stations in 4 days, which may be a world record. This show has established over 100 affiliates in just 4 days, and I want to welcome all of them, and I will do it. I can't do it right now. If you're calling in from San Francisco on KSFO, if you're calling in from WFTL in Florida, my old listeners, I hope you're still awake out there. I know it's a little late for many people in the Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton area, in that the deli's closed already at 4 o'clock for the early bird. But I'd love to hear from you. Incidentally, Teddy is in the studio with me if you want to hear from Teddy. He is as excited as I am. He is the official mascot of the Savage Nation. Let's take our first caller, Tom, in Florida. Welcome to the Savage Nation. Tom, what's on your mind?
Oh, Michael, this is Tom. I'm in Lecanto, Florida. I'm listening on the streaming internet. I'm hoping to get you on a direct station. I'm on the west coast of Florida, away from WFTL. But, Michael, God bless you, and congratulations on your return. I'm a long-time 12-year listener. I'm overjoyed, Michael.
Well, that's nice. I wish that you had called from a station, but that's good. Soon we'll get a station caller. Tampa, Alex, you're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Dr. Savage, how are you this evening?
I never answer that question. That's one thing you got to know. You know why I don't answer it. You don't know me. I don't know you. So don't ask me how I am. What's on your mind?
Just like the last caller, I just wanted to call in and welcome you back to the airways, and absolutely ecstatic that I'll be able to tune in each night and listen to the wisdom that you provide.
No, that's very beautiful. Now, you've been listening for years, I take it? I can tell by your voice you're a long timer.
That's correct.
On which station?
I actually listen on the internet.
Another internet. Okay, well, whatever. That's a big deal right now. But we have 100 stations listening to this show. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm breaking rank. Whoever gets through this show from a radio station is going to get a free copy of my book, soon to be published, Train Tracks. And the reason I'm mentioning it 2 weeks ahead of publication is because it's the stories. People say, you know, Savage, I kind of like you, but I don't like your politics, but I like you. I like your dog. I like your family stories. Well, I published a book of family stories, most of which you never heard on the radio. Anyone who gets through to the show tonight, and perhaps the rest of the week, is going to get a free copy of Train Tracks the minute it is published. But remember, let's not lose focus on the show itself. Here we have the most important election in American history. We have the most divisive president in American history, as well as perhaps the most devious and the most incompetent, all in one. And opposing him is a nice guy, a middle-of-the-road guy, Mitt Romney. I will vote for him. He's not as conservative as I would like, but I'll take what I can get. I had dinner with Mitt Romney long before he announced his candidacy. It was 2 years ago this December in a restaurant in San Francisco. He and I sat in the corner, looked out on the streets of North Beach, and we talked. And let me tell you something. Mitt Romney is a first-class guy, a nice man, very moderate, but what do you expect in the world in which we live, where you have so many people sold on handouts from the government? What's the difference, by the way, between Romney voters and Obama voters? You know the difference, don't you? Obama voters sign the check on the back, don't they? And Romney voters sign the check on the front. It's that simple. This is the Savage Nation. The phone number is 1-855 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. To all the callers around America, I'll be right back, right here on the Savage Nation.